This is a new Juki AMS210EN1306. Last three digits is 142. We've got two sets of clamps on here. So right now I'm going to show you the larger pattern, and then we'll show you what happens when you change over. So on this pattern we have what's called a stepper foot. That's this stepper foot. We're going to show you what the purpose of that is. So that comes down, and when you put that on, and you're setting that so that the stepper foot comes up past the material. So if you've got thinner material, you'll lower it down. If you've got heavier material, you'll raise it up. Okay, and we could just, with that setting, get back to the beginning. So let's sew this now. And we have the left and right pedal set for a reason for the next clamp. That stepper foot holds the material down in the center so you don't get flagging when you're sewing kind of foamy stuff. Okay? See, especially because this has that foam in it, we want to make sure we don't get flagging. That's why we're using that stepper foot. Okay, so one more time. Okay? Alright, so now when you're changing the pattern, the best way to do it is to turn the power off. The clamps can come down. You can move this out of the way. And we're going to change the clamp. Basically those two screws there and these two screws here, and because this is a smaller job, we're going to take that stepper foot off. We don't need it. One of the things when you shut the machine off, it shuts the air to the system so that the clamps aren't out of the way. The clamps are out of the way. That's your air system in the back there. It looks more complicated than it actually is. Everything is numbered. This arch assembly is fixed, so you don't have to move anything there. While he's doing that, basically you have your filter regulator here, and that red line is the minimum amount of pressure you should have. If you go below that red line, it'll give you an error. So as long as you're above that red line, you're okay. That blue thing is an on-off switch. This is set up at 110. Just while he's doing that, this is where you can load up patterns through a CF card, or there's a USB port up on top of here behind this. So he's got the feed plate on there. He's got this one screw. We'll get the other screws on there in a minute. He took the stepper foot off. And if you see this stepper foot, it has a bit of a slot in it, so you can kind of adjust it. There's other ways to adjust it too, but for the most part, within that range, you'll be fine for this application. So what we did, this particular application, we're sewing a 1-inch strap onto this bigger piece. So we made one side come down as a gauge against that. And you'll see that. That's why we have the clamp split the way it was. threads just like all the other machines. Okay, we'll get the other screw on the back. We'll just do it without that at this point. Okay, so you turn the power on and you get this. All right. Now, on the display, it's showing what the pattern is, and we put up top here what the sewing shape is, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So you touch this, and you're gonna get the other patterns here. So we're gonna actually remove those other patterns because they don't fit into that clamp. But what we're gonna do, we just pattern number 1, and then you hit the enter button. And that's the 3/4 by 3/4. I'm gonna label this basically just by going like this, and I could put, that way you know what this is. 3/4. So now it'll tell you what that is. All right, this is the tension setting, the electronic tension setting. This is the speed. That's the sewing feel, and you can make it bigger or smaller, but you're going to be watched within that clamp. All right, and then this is the ready button here, and the machine will home up. Now, if you wanted to check the pattern to make sure everything is right, you would make the clamps come down, and then you would use this button here to jog it around. If everything is okay, we go back. Now, you see what we're trying to do? We've got this 1-inch webbing on top of this. So we're going to make this side come down on top of here so to give you a guide. So you're stepping on the right pedal first, then the left pedal, that'll come down. Okay? And then that's how you would get that pattern on here. And that way, when the strap is loose, you can get it all loaded up. So remember, you've got one pedal makes that side come down, the other pedal makes the other side come down. And then you side kicking to start the machine. This is an emergency stop button. This is a thread wiper, which we're not, I don't know if we're using here. Because if it's going to hit, we turn it off. Yeah, we have it turned off. That's what this switch here is. Because the wiper would wind up hitting the clamp because this is just very heavy. This is your speed adjustment here. When you want to thread the needle, you could just press this button here and everything will come down, and so you could thread the needle. And then you just exit out and you're all set.